I am so disappointed. I got up at 4 this morning. I was going to make this video about Tim Dillon being unhinged about Palantir selling merch. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make a Palantir shirt. I'm going to make a Palantir tank top. But I didn't have any blank tank tops. So I went to the gym. I went to Hobby Lobby. I got the small tank top. Like, I've been able to wear small tank tops. But I can't wear small tank tops anymore. I've been working out so much that I've outgrown small tank tops. And so I got this tank top and it's too small. And I put the Palantir logo on it. See, I chose a holographic Palantir logo and I was so excited about this, but it's the tank. I stretch out the tank top too much. I've gained so much weight that I cannot fit in the small tank top anymore, which I would be really excited about because I have been trying to gain weight, muscle, but the tank top it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good on camera. I'm so disappointed because, Tim Dillon is shocked that a corporation would be selling merch. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know why he's got Palantir Derangement Syndrome. I don't know why anybody has Palantir Derangement Syndrome. But I'm going to tell you, this shit's crazy how deranged people are about Palantir when they don't even know what the software does. How can people be so sure of something? So I'm probably going to go, I don't know if I'm going to change tank tops. I don't want to be slutty. But so we're going to watch this video from Tim Dillon and examine some of the things that he's talking about. Is Palantir that bad? I don't think so. I think it's just a company with a clever marketing. But we'll see. Are you ready for this episode of the Shaman Patrick Show? Let's go. This is cute though. I wish it, oh man.
He was once a storm in human form, sharp tongue, cold soul, heart worn and torn, living like a ghost who missed his grave till the spirit sang out and called him brave. He got rewired by the great unknown, heard the call like a dial tone to the bone. So pull up a chair, enjoy the glow. This is the Shaman Patrick Show.
All right, let's get started. Let's just go right into it. Let's just go.
Our good friends at Palantir, Peter Thiel, and our good friends at Palantir, Peter Thiel, Satan, and many others, are looking to expand Palantir into being a lifestyle brand because what they've realized, well, Peter Thiel, by the way, came out recently and said that regulating AI hastens the Antichrist. When Ross Douthat at the New York Times was like, hey, don't you think, if people were looking at who would be the Antichrist, it might be you? And he's like, actually, it would be Greta Thunberg. Now, Greta Thunberg may or may not be annoying, but...
Well, what Peter said, because I watched that. I did a deep dive on this very topic, Timothy. What Peter said was that if there was an Antichrist, like environmentalism would be the way that it happened. And, you can control people through environmentalism. Carbon credits, the tokenization of commodities. That's how they're probably going to do it. Carbon, you'll only be able to drive so far, and they'll do it under the guise of environmentalism. So, Tim, I know you're my people, but please do not promote misinformation. It's just misinformation.
It is interesting that Peter Thiel thinks that some chick on a flotilla trying to bring rice to Gaza.
See, but Tim, we're all gay here, okay? We're all gay. And you know that it's really hard to be a gay man in the public eye. You do know that. I know that. I'm not even in the public eye, and it's still hard to be somewhat well-known or infamous. And so I'm going to defend Peter Thiel here because y'all are rude to him, you're mean to him, and you really don't know much about him. I don't know much about him, but these are some crazy things that y'all have going on.
Is more likely to be Satan than the guy building autonomous drone armies. But again,
And who's doing that? Who's doing autonomous drone armies? Who's doing that? Y'all keep saying this, but nobody's doing that. Autonomous drone armies? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not a theologist. Now, Peter Thiel, get this up. Palantir is going to become a lifestyle brand. Peter Thiel has realized that the focus has been for too long on drones and Satan. And I think they probably had a meeting at Palantir and they said, Peter, you know, everything with you is facial recognition software and the devil. Why?
I know you're trying to be funny. I know you are, Tim, but the best comedy comes from truth. The best comedy comes from truth, and this is not even funny because it's not true. You have boiled everything to do with Palantir down to their work for the government. That's what you think that Palantir does, that they want to kill people. They want to control people. And that is false. That is false. Do you even know what Palantir software does? Do you even know? I myself have done lots of reading and research on what Palantir does. In fact, I might want to use Palantir software for my business. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make me bad for wearing a cute size too small tank top? Or do you like it when guys wear tank top, small tank tops? I bet you do. I bet Peter does too.
Don't you branch out? So what they're trying to do right now is
I'm probably not your type, Tim. That's okay. You're kind of my type though, honey. I like him a little beefy. My husband is thin and muscular, but I like all types of guys. What can I say?
brand Palantir so that it's kind of like a fun Lululemon. So it's kind of like, you know, probably it involves some wearables. Defense tech giant Palantir is selling t-shirts and tote bags as part of a bid to encourage fans to publicly endorse it. Palantir is sick of the bad press. They're sick.
But there's no bad press. There's no bad press. Where is this coming from? What sort of Trump deranged shit is this coming from? You're a smart person, and I know you like making fun of this, but this might be just contributing to more and more fear mongering. Hey, I wrote something down, you know, because sometimes, you know, I was thinking like maybe people might get the idea that I'm trying to get people to accept the coming techno-feudalism. You will own nothing and you will be happy, and I'm a shaman and I will. No, I'm not trying to get you to accept AI rather than to reject the fear of it. If you think that technology can control other people, it's because technology already controls you. Look at you, Tim. You're just repeating things that you heard somewhere else. If you did just the minimum amount of digging, and I know you think it's funny. I know that it's funny to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking about it. You're a comedian. But I'm a shaman, and I see how this really does affect people. People are afraid. My husband works in a mental hospital. Do you know how many people believe the shit that comes out of your mouth about this, that comes out of Whitney Webb's mouth? You have people who are paranoid and scared because you just keep repeating this stuff. Repeating things that aren't true, it hurts people. Okay? Maybe you've never had to sit with somebody who is terrified of voice-to-skull technology. But it's rough. This is psychotic. The shit y'all talk about is the same shit that mental patients talk about.
Of people pointing out that they're exporting technology all over the world for the purposes of death. That
is not true. That is not true. that is verifiably not true, what are they doing? They are, they'll tell you, if you listen to Alex Karp, if you listen to them, they believe in a strong West. They believe that there is peace through strength. You should want the country that you live in to have a military defense. Hey, I hate war, honey. I hate it. Absolutely. But if you have a strong military, you're probably not going to be attacked. That's just the way it is. And that is what Palantir has said that they are all about. Defense. Not necessarily war, but defense. Defense contracts, not contracts to kill people indiscriminately.
Want to change that image. They want it to be cool. A Palantir shirt, a tote, a hoodie. The game is merch.
I agree.
Turn Palantir into a lifestyle. Surveillance is a lifestyle.
It's not all about surveillance. This is a very dumb interpretation of it. It's not about surveillance. It's about efficiency, trimming the fat, and running a good business for consumers. They have government contracts. Yes, lots of companies have government contracts. How come Palantir gets so much shit? How come Palantir gets shit for having a government contract? Do you know how many, who provides toilet paper for the Department of Defense? Who does uniforms for the military? Do any other contractors do this? Do they all need to be dealt with or fearmongered about? I think it's fine to have a lifestyle brand with your logo on it. Lord knows we do it at concreteshamans.com. If you would like to read our book about the ego and the machinations of ego, including fear-mongering, head on over to concreteshamans.com. We also have merch on there because at the end of the day, Concrete Shamans is a lifestyle brand. Always has been.
Death is a lifestyle. The big picture. The Denver-based company releases new merch online last Thursday as part of a push by leadership to transform it into a lifestyle brand. The launch took place a week before the prototype of Palantir's new tracking tool created for ICE is expected. Palantir has a new tracking tool that will be used for to track immigrants. And just them, by the way. It's a peculiar strategy for a company that's inked billions in defense contracts with the federal government and drawn scrutiny over its escalated role within the Trump administration.
Well, of course, here's what I would tell you. If Palantir was supporting or working with a Democrat administration, there would be no problems. There would be no issue or problems at all. I am not that innocent. There would be no problems at all. It would be like, oh, Palantir is helping the Biden deliver checks to you. Do you want your scrimmy checks on time? Well, we're going to need AI to process all these checks. Y'all would be like, yes, fuck yes. I want my money. I want it now. I want my money. I want it now. If Palantir was working primarily with a Democrat administration, y'all would be on that shit. Y'all would be licking that shit up like government cheese.
Folks, you can't build a digital police state without selling a tote bag. This is how crazy everything's become. Can't you just be evil? Can anyone just be evil anymore?
Now, you might say, why am I so fired up about this? Well, because number one, I care for people. I care for people. And the world is not that dangerous, or the world is not that bad. And I'm kind of sick of the fear mongering. Fear monger here. I love AI. I'm an artist. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter. Been like this for shit. I can't even remember. since I was a little kid. Hey, I recorded my first song when I was 8 years old, and I recorded it and I even did backup vocals. How did I do backup vocals without studio equipment? Well, I had 2 boom boxes, and I recorded the vocals on one, and I layered the harmonies back and forth. Yes, it sounded like shit, but I figured that out when I was a little bitty kid. And I am not threatened by AI. I do not feel victimized or taken advantage of. And people say, well, Patrick, it steals from artists. It steals from artists. Don't you know that I've created enough art out there that's on the internet right now that my art got hoovered up in that? It's just a return on my artistic investment. All that art, that free stuff that I've done on the internet, writing and photography and painting and all that stuff that I've done got hoovered up in that. I'm just taking back my share. The AI is gonna suck some of my creativity up, even maybe some of the books I wrote. So I'm just gonna take out my fair share. So if you're an artist that got your shit hoovered up by that, then it belongs to you. So use it as a tool. I don't feel threatened or upset over AI creating songs and music, because my husband and we did make, 4 albums worth of music, songs that we wrote. We recorded the instruments, we did the vocal, we did it, all that. And our latest album we produced it with AI. We wrote the songs. Some of the demos that we came up with, Merrick even sang into a microphone, and it helped create one of the songs. So I love AI. I don't see what y'all are so freaking upset about. I think maybe you just don't understand it. I think that you just don't see, why do you want to be this way? Why do you want to feel this way? Why do you want to have a come apart? So what? Palantir has merch. Why is that so upsetting to you? Why does that freak people out? What is the disconnect here?
Can't anything just be evil?
Yes, their evil does exist in the world. It does. You've talked about evil on your show. Yes, evil exists in the world, but I'm sorry, I don't think a company ran by a half black, half Jew man who loves America, loves art, loves freedom, and his co-CEO is a gay man with a penchant for muscled hotties. I think you're barking up the wrong tree here, fella. I think you might be projecting, because the more I learn about Alex and Peter, the more I get to know them as much as I can through books and articles and podcasts. They seem like really great guys. If there was going to be a surveillance state, I'd want them to do it. I would. I think they're funny, they're smart, and one of them is gay. I mean, come on. He believes in God and Jesus, and he's concerned for the Antichrist. And so here's what I know about projections, that if you're projecting something onto somebody else, it's what you would do if you were them. And I don't know where you're getting your information, but if you got to know who they were, there's got to be something behind it all, because I'm just not buying that it's about Palantir. If Palantir is a great software that helps America run better and defend itself, what would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with wanting a strong defense system in America from a company that is run by a half black, half Jewish man with crazy hair and a gay guy? Because, at the end of the day, gay guys are gay guys. That's it. We're just gay guys. Haven't gay people been through enough bullshit? Haven't they? Haven't they? Why are you coming at these people all fists and elbows anyway? What did they ever do to you? What did they do? Is it because I'm trying to read your mind? I'm not reading minds today. I've said nope. Today I'm recording this on a Friday. On Fridays, I don't read minds. I don't have clients. I don't do card readings. Fridays are for me in my head. That's my day. Fridays are my day.
Everybody wants to be applauded for doing the worst things ever.
It'll drive you crazy because Palantir is pretty clear that they want America to succeed. They are focused on helping America succeed. Why is that so hard to understand? Because the things that you're scared about, Palantir can't necessarily do. I mean, there's an article on Wired, okay? And Wired, their journalism has been a little iffy in the past. But they do a really good job of accurately representing what Palantir actually does. And you can anybody can read this article. But see, we exist in a sort of time-space continuum where when people tell you what they're doing, you don't believe them. Hey, guess what? I was a scapegoated child. Nobody in my family believes me. Nobody in my husband's family believes me. It's wild. It took me a long time to figure that out. Why wasn't I just believed? Well, because I got sober, and the things that I learned in sobriety threatens the family image. Because if there's one alcoholic or drug addict in the family, the whole family is sick. So in order for you, the person, to get sober, you have to realize that your whole family is sick. You'd really rather not talk to them about it. You'd really rather just keep it sort of distant. But eventually, you start realizing things about life and reality. And then and here's another thing. When you're sober, your way of life demands rigorous honesty. You have to be rigorously honest with yourself primarily, and you have to be honest with everybody in your life. Now, if you come from a family like mine with deep alcoholism and stuff like that, you being honest with these people is going to have them, they're going to have a complete come apart, and then they're not going to believe you because your reality, your sober reality, is threatening to their numbed out alcohol. They're we're a perfect family. We're a perfect family. Everything's fine. But when you are a sober person and you go for Thanksgiving and people start throwing things at each other and yelling and screaming and having arguments with each other, and you're sober and you're seeing this shit and you're like, this shit is crazy. And they'll be like, no, everything's fine. I love your mom. I'm just hitting her because I love her. That's what I'm talking about. So I know what it's like to talk to people who don't believe you because you're seeing reality in a different way than they are. So this is so strange because literally you could ask Peter or Alex, like, is this going to end up being a mass surveillance thing of pre-crime and all of it? They'll tell you no. They'll say, no, it's not going to be that. But, they must be lying. I don't believe them. They must be up to no good. They have to be up to no good. You know why you think that? Because you're up to no good in your own life. If you are up to no good, you think other people are up to no good. But when you listen to people, and you can be skeptical and learn to listen, you can discover the intent behind the message. People could lie to you, and you could still tell the intent behind everything you say. People lie to me on a daily basis, and I don't have come aparts. I've had somebody, I said, I asked somebody the other day, when was the last time you used drugs? And he's like, I've been clean for 90 days. Now, I know that he knows that 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 he's high right now. And yet the lie gets told. And I just, okay. And we both move on with our day. And no come aparts have happened. He walks away knowing he told me a lie. And I walk away knowing he told me a lie. And everything is fine. So what is the intention behind the Palantir fear-mongering? What is the is it fashionable? Is it losers? Mad at winners? Because you can find out exactly what Palantir software does if you're afraid of it. If you're afraid of it, if you don't understand it. Everybody who has a phone has Google. You can Google this stuff. There are books you can read. There are people you can ask. I'm at some point I'm probably gonna email Palantir and say, can we have a chat? Can I talk to you? Hey, I've already got some Palantir merch in this tank top that's too small for me. But it might look kind of good. I don't know. I just wish you could see it better. I wish you could see it better. I am so disappointed that this shirt did not turn out the way that I wanted it to. But you can find out anything. You do not have to accept fear-mongering about it. Because even in this article, it goes on. What it's ultimately selling them is not just software, but the idea of a seamless, almost magical solution to complex problems. To do that, Palantir often uses the language and aesthetics of warfare, painting itself as a powerful quasi-military intelligence partner. Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world. Palantir CEO Alexander Karp says in a February 2025 earnings call, and when it's necessary to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. And I've heard this one quote taken out of context and presented like, oh God, no. See how horrible they are. They said, Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world. And when it's necessary to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. Nobody wants to kill people. What do you see? What are you projecting that people want to kill? You know, when someone purchases a gun legally, they do it because they hope they never have to use it. That's why they purchase a gun, for self-defense. They're not buying guns to shoot people. Maybe some of y'all out there would do that, like, ooh, I'm gonna get a gun and I'm gonna shoot people. That's crazy that people think that. But then again, we live in a world where people think Donald Trump is a Nazi and they cannot be convinced otherwise. It is cuckoo. It is cockamamie. It is crazy. It is. But this article goes on to, some people have moral objections to working with the military or the government. I don't know why. I suspect it's from college educated people who really don't even understand what America is at all. It's kind of a failure. They exist in this world where America has just always been that there were no soldiers that fought for their freedom, that there were no, what was the Revolutionary War about? I don't know. Yes, there have been warmongers among our leaders. And you know what? I don't agree with that either. All right. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the government and the military that I don't agree with. The military has put its nose in a lot of places, but see, I'm not a general. I'm not an FBI agent. I'm a bug. Okay. I'm a bug. I'm a little unimportant bug. And when people start getting high above their station, suddenly they feel like they need to know. We're on a need to know basis with what's going on in the world. We're on a need to know basis. And when we start to think too highly of ourselves, we start to say, I want my money and I want it now. I need to know. about all of this. I may not understand how computers or AI works, but I need to know. I need to know. I may not understand how to code software, but I'm going to tell you that it's bad. Don't you see, man? It's bad. These are bad people doing bad things, and I don't know. I don't know nothing, man. I don't know nothing. Why you bothering me?
No one can just do them and make lots of money. They also have to be like applauded in the public square and loved. They want to be cool. You did it. You're doing all the things. Your dreams have come true. You're identifying and killing people all over the planet.
Okay, I know you're trying to be funny, honey. I know you are. But look, here's the thing about Peter Thiel and Alex. They're billionaires. Many billionaires have taken their money and retired and said, you know what? I'm not going to try to make the world a better place. I'm not going to try to solve complex issues. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to take my money and run. But Elon Musk trying to solve complex world problems, you make fun of him. You make fun of people who step up. You know, Alex and Peter and any billionaire right now, anybody that, you know what they did? They wasted their time. They focused on making hookup apps and DoorDashes and Uber Eats. They fucking blew it. They could have made apps and software that actually made America stronger, safer, profitable. And when people step up and say, I want to build something that helps make our country safer and better and stronger, not just for me, but for everybody. You make fun of them. You say they're being evil. You say you start projecting evil intentions on them. Like they're the selfish ones. They're the ones who want it all for themselves. If you listen to anybody that y'all currently hate right now, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, Elon Musk, all the people that you hate, they are doing things to make the world a better place. And even if they have some selfish motives in there, I hope they have some selfish motives in there. You help other people and you help yourself too. But by constantly fear-mongering about it, how dare anybody step up and try to make the world a better place? How dare anybody with real power and influence try to make the world a better place? You want to talk about Greta Thunberg? What a bitch. What a little mousy bitch with no wisdom, no life experience. She could be the Antichrist. You don't know. Because a naggy bitch. Why do y'all like these naggy midwit bitches so much?
Your technology, your company's doing it. The company you started is identifying targets and helping unmanned autonomous drones fire at those targets all over the world. You're surveilling
all over the world. How do you think warfare works, Tim? How do you think warfare works? And I know there you got all these let's get really retarded about it. Okay? Let's say there is a very bad man hiding out in a country. Let's say there's one of Epstein's clients hiding out in a country, and he has abused and hurt hundreds of children and young ladies, and maybe some even boys too. And you can't get to him. You cannot get to him and take him out because he is so dangerous that he has to be put down. Where do you go? What do you do? Like we talked about, they only target enemies and bad people. And yeah, it's subjective this day and age, who's bad, who's not bad. But there's many layers to stuff like this. Like I used to date soldiers. Tim, I don't know if you've ever dated a soldier. I don't know if you've ever, I live next to a military base. Now, some of those soldiers are fine. They are fine. And I am so glad Pete Hegseth stepped up and said there shouldn't be any overweight soldiers, because the scenery in my town is about to get a lot better, if you know what I mean. Before a target is taken out, it has to go through several different things. It's not like in an episode of Killing Eve. It's not like in TV shows. It's not as simple as setting up a target and then taking them out. I mean, if only it was that simple. I mean, come on. You're not a stupid person, Tim. You're not. At least I think you're not. Did you go to college?
People, you're using facial recognition technology. Isn't it enough that you've made your dreams come true? You've made your dreams come true. Every young kid walking around Stanford wants to do what you've done. Put his fellow citizens in a digital cage and then finally eliminate their physical beings. But you did it. Hard work, determination, believing in yourself. You know the shit Gary Vee talks about. Betting on yourself. Hustle, grind. You did it. You're gonna put the country in a digital prison, and the people that step out of line are gonna get vaporized with your technology.
Okay. That's a cool story, bro. That's a cool story. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? What is stepping out of line? I mean, this is the Great Awakening. This is the Great Awakening. And I'm a divine being in a human body having a human experience that I chose to have. So I don't get what the whole come apart about all of this is. That there's some sort of fantasy that people are going to start eliminating dissenters with the push of a button. That's not what America is all about. That's not American values. And Palantir, as it is right now, is run by people who love America. America doesn't work that way. Maybe the intelligence agencies work that way, but I guarantee you, Timothy, that there are things happening right now that we don't know about. We're probably going through a color revolution in this country. Everything's getting exposed, man. It's getting exposed. And if you're fear-mongering about this mass surveillance, if you're fear-mongering about this digital prison, if you cannot, you're already in a digital prison. You've been in a prison your whole life. Welcome. You've been in Plato's cave, honey. You're not seeing reality as it actually is. You're still in the motherfucking matrix, motherfucker. Step outside of the matrix. Put it down. Put down the phone. Turn off the TV. You're still in the matrix if you think that this shit is really going on.
Did it. Sitting in a dorm room as a young guy with a couple of buddies talking about the possibilities of tech, and here we are. Here we are. All of us reduced to a set of facial characteristics, a threat profile.
And that's a wonderful fantasy. I think maybe that Marxist revolutionaries and commies would be most concerned about this. I think that if I were a Marxist revolutionary or somebody wanting to overthrow the American government, I would be really nervous about Palantir. I would be really upset about Palantir. But I don't think you're trying to do that, Tim. I don't think anybody's trying to do that. But I think maybe you might be listening to some people who are afraid of stuff like that. But see, in America, you have free speech for now. In America, we have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Y'all are talking about something that's not currently possible or really possible at all in a free country. Has America suddenly not become a free country? Do y'all know something y'all aren't telling us? Because if you think that's the way this country works, you're wrong. And yes, there is corruption. I get you. Somebody might get in control of some powerful software, but see, they can do it now. They can debank you now for dissent. They can do all that stuff now. I don't know how they're able to do it, but they can do it. It is very early in the morning. It's now Saturday. And I'm just interrupting this video to illustrate to you exactly how this fear mongering gets out of control by poor journalism. I went to journalism school. I've said that a lot on this channel. And what passes for journalism today is just piss poor. Piss poor. Where's our journalists at? Can we get some accurate fucking reporting on things? All right. So, if you look at this website, Axios, Palantir's partnership with ICE deepens. Yes, the illegal immigrant situation here in America is sad. It is very sad. The stuff that ICE has been forced to do, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to go rounding people up. Nobody wants to do that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, there are too many undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants in our country. The country does not have the resources. How did these people get here? Well, who knows? If you go back and look at videos, they're coming across the border very clean shirts, iPhones. Like they were coming with all more stuff than I ever had as a homeless person. It was kind of funny because I knew drug addicts who were having a really rough time in their life. And they're like, man, I'm thinking about just going to Mexico and coming back across the border so I can get some fucking help. So you had a situation where you had Americans not able to get the help that they needed. But if you were an illegal immigrant coming across the border, you could get all this help, healthcare, food stamp, all this stuff. Now, I know immigrants who have immigrated into the country legally. So I was talking to this one girl. She had a visa. She was here temporarily, and she was telling me, oh, it's so bad. Trump deporting illegals. It's just so sad. I'm an immigrant too. And I said, did you come across a border illegally? No, I had to fill out paperwork. It was really difficult for me to be able to be here. And I said, so why don't other people have to do that too? Why don't other people have to follow laws? Because there are legal ways to enter the country. There are. You don't have to do it illegally. And that's been the whole thing about this. And you can say, well, these people are poor. They're seeking economic. There's economic reasons. The U.S. military destroyed their country, and now they're coming over here. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. But at the same time, it's an unworkable situation. I feel bad for the people that came to this country at the urging of other people. And to be used as a political pawn in this way. I mean, y'all know I'm a gay guy. We've been used as political pawns for decades. And we're like, we just want to be left alone. We just want to get married and just live life. Please don't put us in another Netflix series. Please don't try to force gay people down people's throats. Don't do that. Christians use us as political pawns. Democrats use us as political pawns. Because see, it's just political pawns. The illegal immigrants are political pawns. And so you have to watch out for reporting about this, because Palantir did build software to help people who were here in the country illegally self-deport. They did help people self-deport. They would get money and they would get a way out of this country and maybe somewhere where they came from, basically. But the people who did not self-deport, they had to come after them. And that's sad. Here, let me tell you, being a former drug addict, when the cops come for you, they come for you. When I was banned from a Starbucks and I went in there drunk one day and they wouldn't serve me coffee, I got kind of testy, and I said, "You can't tell me what to do." And I had a 12 pack of beer, a fresh pack of cigarettes. See, I didn't have a whole lot of money back then. These things were like valuable to me. And I just wanted a cup of coffee. And so they told me to leave. The people at Starbucks told me to leave. And I left the Starbucks. And I'm like, well, fuck you. Then I hear sirens. And then I'm just like, what's going on? And then they come from behind me and they slam me on the ground and put me in handcuffs like I had actually entered the country illegally. Like I had actually done something. I was pretty shocked. And there were no fucks given. They took my beer and they opened up each can and poured it out into the street. They took my cigarettes and ripped them up, because you can't have that. You can't bring that stuff to jail. What about my rights? What about my rights? Well, they said you don't have, like, you broke the law. Criminal trespassing. Criminal trespassing. I still have my mugshot from that day. I keep it with me as a reminder. This is my mugshot from that day. All because I had forgotten I got banned from, and I thought, what a dumb way to get arrested. Like this mug, you could search this mugshot for a while. I don't think you could do that anymore. But when people would look it up, they go, "Ooh, he's broke the law. He's a criminal." And I'm like, I was banned from a Starbucks. Why was I banned from that Starbucks? From being drunk and giving psychic readings in that Starbucks. I'm probably still banned from that Starbucks. And I guarantee you that if I went there today, I would be treated the same, because I broke the law. And it was a very, very cold, hard dose of reality. And that's what I mean by people who have limited life experience. Like I talk to people in recovery every day, people who have felony convictions, people, because when you're drunk and you're high, you don't realize that when you break laws, it affects other people. Like other people get hurt by your actions when you're acting out. And it's kind of, when you do break a law, and even if you are perceived as breaking a law, the cops are going to come after you. So when I was put into a mental institution, eventually I was such a menace to my neighborhood. Like I was just I was a drunk, crazy person. Granted, going through a shamanic crisis and an initiation, but I was such a crazy person, you see, that something had to be done. It was not easy to get me put into that mental institution. It required input from my family. Somebody had to give testimony that I had had a lifetime of mental health issues, but also my mental health issues were caused by my crazy ass family. Now that I'm away from my family, I don't have those things anymore. I'm sober. People told me years ago, just stay away from your family, Patrick. They're not good for you. They are crazy. They're insane people. I didn't listen. Most people like me end up dead because we don't listen. We can't seem to put two and two together that our families are trying to drive us crazy. So I say all this, you got to watch out for these narratives. Like, these poor criminals or these poor people who've done nothing wrong. Look at, like, they'll even say that illegal immigrants have constitutional rights, which is ludicrous. Because I think they want to equate the treatment of criminals, people who have committed crimes or people who are suspected of committing crimes, with just normal everyday citizens trying to buy condoms and toothpaste at Walmart. It's very strange to me. So here's this article: Palantir's partnership with ICE deepens, and it says the company has been an ICE contractor for more than a decade, spanning the Obama and Biden administrations. See? But its new scope of work signals an escalating role in immigration enforcement under President Trump. Well, because Trump said, we have to finally do something about this. Obama and Biden were against illegal immigration for years, but suddenly here, let me tell you something, guys. The Democrat Party needs new voters, okay? Because y'all are not voting Democrat anymore. Y'all are just not. If you would just vote Democrat, we wouldn't have to go to these links. You see? We wouldn't have to import people from other countries if only you would just vote for the things that we want. Please, please. We wouldn't have to import voters. And now you're deporting our voter base. Oh my God, if only you would vote Democrat. We wouldn't have to censor you. We wouldn't have to lock you down. Why won't you vote Democrat? That's what I hear. This seems very threatening, doesn't it? If only you would vote the way we want you to vote. Urgh. All right, so, but I'm not going to read this whole article. But this prototype, by September 25th, the Immigration Lifecycle Operating System, this prototype will give ICE near real-time visibility on people self-deporting from the U.S. According to those records, it will also help the agency track and manage deportation. Basically, it's a software that says you ain't got to go home, but you can stay here. Now, I've also been evicted from apartments as well. When the sheriff comes to evict you, they take you. Like the first time I was evicted, I was shocked. I was just completely shocked. I couldn't believe it was happening. Even though I didn't pay my rent, and a dumb thing, I had the money. I just was drunk and forgot to pay it. But I was in the midst of, I'd hired some movers. I'd done some cocaine the night before. I was just kind of like, we were packing up, and we had some more things to go. And so the sheriffs came and they go, all right, it's time to go. And I said, okay, well, let me just get another cup of coffee. And they go, nope. And they just ripped me out. Like I did not have a right to be in that apartment right then. And that's why I say people having limited life experience. If you are not supposed to be somewhere, if you are in a place illegally, if you do not have the right to be there, they can take you away from there. I've been evicted from apartments more than a couple times due to alcoholism and stuff. Did you know I've managed to stay in the same house for 7 years now? I've had the same phone number for 7 years. I've had the same checking account for 7 years. These are the things that happen when you get sober. But, you have to watch out for this journalism, because this is the crazy thing about it. I want to say, let me just pull out one thing, because you see how disingenuous the journalism is around all of this. The big picture. Palantir's new contract comes amid the Trump administration's increasingly aggressive deportation efforts. That crackdown led to last Sunday's arrest of more than 100 people in Colorado Springs, including active duty military members, and the recent deportation of at least 11 immigrants from ICE's detention facility in Aurora. So you read that little paragraph, and you're like, including active. Oh my God! They're accidentally sucking up active duty military members. Oh, at what? Oh God! How horrible! Now let's click through to that story and see what was actually going on. Active duty military caught in immigration raid at makeshift nightclub in Colorado Springs. No criminal charges filed. So here you have this illegal juke joint where there's active duty military there, probably doing drugs, probably doing crazy ass shit. They don't say that. This is also CPR News. This is Colorado Public Radio. Oh God. Oh God. I used to listen to NPR and public radio all the time. It's unlistenable now. It's so unhinged. But if you read the article, you see how they're like, they don't believe law enforcement. They don't believe that these things, like they're on the side of the criminals, essentially. Public radio is on the side of the criminals. This is the dystopia, like where the news is like, won't somebody please think of the murderers? The murderers, like, why won't we just let them kill people? People are just doing drugs. Oh God, I get this too. I used to work in harm reduction where you do needle exchange programs, and that's why it's like, people just need to do their heroin. You can't make them stop. They just need to do their heroin and sleep in the street. Just, it doesn't matter if they leave hypodermic needles and baggies and they're dropping 8 balls of meth in the park. No. Let them do it. Let them do it. It's fine. You see? Won't somebody please think of the criminals? Why won't please think of the criminals, please. But in this article, it talks about how, God, I would love to see this. I would love to turn this article into AI because it's an AI scene because it sounds crazy. Videos and statements posted on various X accounts show dozens of men and women spilling out of an abandoned building at 4 a.m. with their hands raised. Some immediately got down on their knees and put their hands behind the back. Yeah, I bet. Have y'all ever seen an illegal juke joint raid? There used to be a lot of these kinds of things in our city, these juke joints. Okay, so officials say more than 300 law enforcement officers from El Paso County Sheriff's Office, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the Drug Enforcement Administration, among others, were on the scene. Yeah, this takes a lot of resources to clean up. This is why you don't ever want this. This is why, what's expensive? Communist revolutionary stuff. It's very expensive because usually the communists will take over, they'll destroy everything, and then you have to eventually build it back up because people are like, oh man, I didn't know communism was bad. Oh God. Because if you really don't want a surveillance police state, you can't tolerate this communist shit very much at all. Plus it takes so much money and resources to clean this shit up. They're just some criminals doing drugs in an unauthorized non-liquor license nightclub. I thought this was America. Shouldn't we be able to just do crime? Isn't that what America is all about? So U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said on X that a number of those inside the club were gang member terrorists. And noted that cocaine, methamphetamine, and pink cocaine were seized. See, man, I never did any of that pink cocaine. That was one drug that completely fucking missed me. That pink cocaine. I can't believe it. That sounds like something that would have been right at my alley. So far, No federal or local criminal charges have been filed against anyone. A spokeswoman from the U.S. Attorney's Office declined to comment on the raid. Bondi noted that 2 people amid more than 100 inside the club had existing warrants. DEA special agent in charge, Jonathan Pullen, told reporters early Sunday morning that Colorado Springs was safer as a result of his agent's work. This is an underground illegal nightclub. There was significant drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence. We had active duty service officers running security at the club. He said at the Sunrise near the scene on Sunday, we had more than 100 illegal aliens at the club and they were taken into custody by ICE. And so what's wrong with that? What's wrong with having an underground illegal nightclub with drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence? What's wrong with that? You know, I mean, won't somebody, you know, it takes money to start a nightclub in the legitimate way. It takes money. You know, you have to have IDs and permits and all of that. You know, we're about equality here. I mean, if we want equality, so we should, you know, won't you please think of the you know, black and brown people? They may not be able to get an ID. They may not be able to get a liquor license due to systemic racism and hatred. So this is just equality in action. When you should be able to start a prostitution nightclub, drug trafficking operation right next to a Home Depot if you want. I mean, come on. Isn't this America? This come on. But Pullen, who has previously acknowledged that sending people through immigration proceedings is easier than proving criminal cases in court, said there were more than a dozen active duty service members in the club during the raid, either as patrons of the club or working as armed security. Only those here illegally or those with warrants were taken into custody. A DEA statement said later, most party goers were eventually released. And I'm gonna tell you, I live near an army town. You're not allowed to go to certain businesses when you're in active duty. Okay, so we live next to Fort Campbell. So these are the places that you can't go in if you're in the military. You can't go to trailer parks. You can't go to Adult Toy Box and Tobacco Superstore. Let Freedom Reign, or any solicitation business operated by Bob Gaskins. I mean, there's a whole list of places that you can't go. So when you're in the military, you just can't go places. You can't go anywhere that you want to go. So somebody with limited life experience might say, oh my gosh, they got active duty service members in an ICE raid. This is terrible. They're just getting people from places that they shouldn't be. Do you see the midwittery? Do you see that if a journalist were just to do their fucking jobs, there wouldn't be this much fear mongering about it. So you do have to watch out for this stuff, because a lot of the things that even our brother in Christ, Tim Dillon, is talking about is based on poor, inaccurate, incomplete journalism by people who may or may not have went to college and may not have even a basic understanding of how laws, governments, police, and drug courts actually fucking work. Are you going to live in fear of that? Are you going to not speak up? Are there certain subjects you're not going to talk about because you're afraid that somebody might shut you down or take you out? To speak the truth today is very brave. But I have been looking for something to be afraid of about this situation, and I can't find anything. I'm still looking for it. And the stuff that you're talking about is not possible in a free country. But if the country is not free anymore, it's news to me. It's news to me. But dissenters, like look at what happened during COVID, and dissenters got Y'all are talking about stuff that may never come to pass.
How beautiful. A digital file with all of our health data, a protest we've attended, a police record, public intoxication? Ah, weren't you the wild man?
Now here's where you enter the age of owning your shit and knowing your shit. Hey, I used to do a lot of drugs. I don't do them anymore, but I don't care if people know anything about my past. I imagine living in fear that somebody might discover something about you from your past. Imagine living in fear of that. That's not being very conscious. The insurance file, the health, go into protests and stuff like that. I mean, I did a lot of crazy stuff when I was drunk. I don't do it anymore, but I own my shit. There's files on us all. There's files on us all. And most people gave away their privacy when they signed up for Facebook. I don't use Facebook anymore. I don't even really use Instagram. I don't keep a list of my family and friends publicly available. But people gave up their privacy. People share intimate personal details of their life on a daily basis via Facebook and X. And if you think that you can get a picture or a sense of who a person is based on that file, that's crazy. That's insane. Do you know how much crazy shit I look up on the internet, Tim? Sometimes I'm looking up things for clients. Sometimes I'm looking up things for things that I hear about on YouTube, or I look up actors. I look up really sexy actors. Like if my husband and I see a sexy actor, we'll look him up. We'll even look up shirtless pictures of him too. Like if you looked into both my husband's and mine search history, you would find Glenn Powell, shirtless. Wyatt Russell, shirtless. Chris Evans, shirtless. Chris Evans, shirtless. Chris Evans, shirtless. Noah Centino, shirtless. But I'm more than just what I look at on the internet. I'm way more. See, that file would not have that I walk barefoot on the grass sometimes. I was at the gym today. Who did I talk to? What did I do? What did I see on the screen? So if you guys think that this file is going to define you, it's not. It can't. And that facial recognition stuff, that just recognizes your face. It doesn't recognize who you are. See, what's got to happen is we got to put a value to human life again. You're promoting this as if humans don't matter. You are talking about this as if humans don't matter. You talk about the horrible things that are going to happen to us, but you don't talk about the beautiful things that humans do. You kind of make a case for extermination of the human species when you're fear-mongering about this stuff. You think that these people want to do things to you that humans are already doing to themselves. People gossip, people project, people who refuse to do shadow work. If you don't want it to be a prison planet or a surveillance state, let's make a case for why that would be a bad idea instead of demonizing the people who may or may not be creating it. Hey, I'm a shaman. Can I get an audience with Alex Karp or Peter Thiel and ask them and work with them? Can we get some spiritual leaders involved in this shit? Or do y'all just continue to want to talk shit about Palantir? Is that what you want? I'm about solutions, y'all.
All of it stored by the government. It's beautiful. Why do you need to sell tote bags? Why do people have to be happy about their imprisonment?
But y'all are already in prison. You're in the prison of mind. You're in the prison of fear. You're fear-mongering. You are talking about things you don't really understand. And I dropped out. Did you go to college? Because see, if you knew about America, you would know that we have to for our country to survive, somebody's got to fucking step up. We got to remoralize this shit, y'all. We got to do something about this. All y'all are doing is complaining about it and not doing a damn fucking thing about it. I'm stepping up. I want to learn about these people. I want to know about these people. And if there's something that I could do, maybe there's something that they haven't thought of. Maybe we need to show each other how valuable we are. I love you, Tim. I love you so much. I listen to you. This shit that you're on with this Palantir bashing, this Palantir derangement syndrome, it's nonsense. Where are you getting this shit? I know you're trying to make fun of them, and I know, but it's not funny when it promotes intolerance and fear.
Why must people be? This is the thing I hate about the tech people, and then I actually feel this is why I got to throw my hat in with the finance guys, even Mr. Rubin, because at the end of the day, finance people just wanted to take your shit. They didn't need you to feel good about them doing it. They didn't need to be applauded for doing it. They just wanted to take the things that you had and keep them for themselves. But Palantir can't handle the fact that people have soured on them.
But they haven't, though. They're a very popular software. Have you watched videos from people who love Palantir? They're very dry. I watched this guy. He reviewed the book, The Technological Republic. He reviewed that book. It was the nerdiest shit I've ever seen. There are people who are nerding out about Palantir. I know you may not be able to see that. I know, because it seems like you've just been hitting the pipe of Palantir derangement, but there are people out there that love Palantir software. There are companies that use Palantir software, and I couldn't wait. I looked to see what kind of Palantir merch they had, and I wanted something a little faggier. I wanted something, with a little bit of flair. I really wanted to sparkle and shine when I went to the gym and wore my Palantir shirt. I'm going to have to redo it. I've got a Cricut machine, but I didn't necessarily want, because some of their options were very bland, and I couldn't even get to the store. I had to enter a password or something. The store hasn't launched or something. So I just couldn't wait to have a Palantir shirt. So I just made one, and see, I have to keep moving because it's holographic. It'll look so good in the sun. But just because, are you trying to be smarter than these tech bros or these software engineers? Are you threatened by intelligence or something? Where's this shit coming from? Tell me where it's coming from. What Trump deranged person out there? Because anything that Trump is involved in, people are gonna hate. If there was another company that did what Palantir does, and there isn't, would you feel the same about them just because they were working with Trump? I have a suspicion that this has more to do with Trump derangement syndrome than Palantir derangement syndrome. And Palantir is such a great software and good for what it does that it freaks people out, because it gives this administration an unfair advantage. Oh my God. So you mean to tell me that Palantir software is going to help the government run more efficiently? That it's going to save money on tax? Oh my God, fuck this. No. It's eliminating jobs. Yes, these people who worked for the government, they were just collecting paychecks and not doing anything. They were even working from home. They hadn't been to the office in 3 years, and they were still, their jobs are being taken away. AI is taking away jobs. AI is taking away the jobs for people who don't even want them anyway. That's the craziest thing about this, because people who don't want their jobs are mad that AI is taking their jobs. They just want the paycheck. So you got to figure out something else to do. I was a Flash programmer, and when that shit went away, I was kind of pissed for about 2 weeks. And then I realized, well, shit, I got to learn JavaScript, don't I? Yeah. I'm going to have to learn some more HTML tricks, aren't I? Damn it. Same thing with video editing software. I used to use Vegas. I used to make music in Acid. And when those things went away temporarily, I had to learn something else. We're going to have to constantly learn new things. I don't have the same job that I had when I was 16 years old, flipping burgers at Druthers, which doesn't even exist anymore. It's become Hardee's. So yeah, things change. People change, man. People change.
So they're constantly trying to like get people interested in their brand by giving lectures on the Antichrist and by doing shirts and tote bags. It's edgy.
They're a successful software company. They don't really need your approval. They don't need anybody's approval. Least of all, people who don't know what, if you want to know what they're, see, it's just, this is low hanging fruit, Tim. This is such low hanging fruit for you. I respect you as a comedian. This is such low hanging fruit for you. It's easy to make fun of something that everybody hates. Let's hear some real humor.
Edgy. Ooh, you can piss people off with a Palantir shirt. Ooh, those libtards at Christmas are going to get mad when you walk in with a Palantir hat. How's your stock doing? It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Who does things to make people mad? This is a narcissistic take. I'm starting to get the sun in here because I'm starting to get the sun on my skin. The sun is coming through the window. I've been doing this for I don't normally make videos this late. And the only reason I'm making it late today is because I wanted to make this Palantir shirt, which I'm probably not going to get to wear out in public because it's too tight and it's a little slutty on me. I'm not trying to be slutty in public in a Palantir shirt, for God's sakes.
Pathetic. You're going to be an edgelord with Palantir? You're going to edgelord with a Palantir shirt, you loser? It's ridiculous. It's insane. See if you can get one 3X for me. Have them send it. Ironically. But the point is, the Palantir Aura Ring involves a partnership where Palantir provides infrastructure and security for Aura's enterprise platform for the DoD rather than a partnership. So this is a wearable. That's coming. They want the wearable.
Why are y'all so concerned about privacy all of a sudden? Where were y'all? I think this is great. I think now is a good time to be worried about privacy. Where were y'all? Where was the outrage about privacy? I've heard more shit about privacy in the past year. It's about 20 years too late. Okay, it's kind of like with AI art. AI art people, artists need to get paid. Artists need to get paid. Here, I got a tip for you. Turn off the phone. Don't wear the smartwatches. Don't wear any of that shit. I mean, we have a Google Home in our house, and we joke that if anybody listens to that, they get to hear some of the most ignorant conversations that a person can have. What do you think my husband and I talk about? We talk about hot actors. We talk about how hard Silk Song is. We talk about how great Peacemaker is. And sometimes we channel some spirits and we do shamanism. Every now and then they might hear some moans from the bedroom area. We're very traditional gay married men. We're missionary position type of gay men. We're very milquetoast gay men. But people, oh God, they're listening to you. They're listening to you. They're tracking, they're tracing you. When they're doing that, I mean, I've been in line behind people at Walmart as they have the most ignorant conversations. Can you imagine having to track and trace some of the people in the world? Can you imagine it's hard to overhear some conversations. I mean, my husband and I are going to go out to dinner tonight. We might go to O'Charlie's because the town in which we live, there's not a whole lot of restaurants. So we'll go to O'Charlie's, get stared at. People will say, they'll tell me, I'm glad you brought your son out to eat. And I'm his husband, but I'm 22 years older than him. So sometimes they call They're like, oh, it's so nice to have a father and son here. And we go, husbands. Sometimes we don't even tell them that. You know, my husband used to have a chip on his shoulder. He goes, I don't want people to think I have daddy issues. And I said, well, if you're gay, you have daddy issues. You probably already have those daddy issues. And people just know that. But now he's like, well, I hope they think I'm your dad. We're an affectionate family. But so, yeah, when they're tracking and tracing people, you don't really know. People don't live all that interesting lives, Tim. They're not. It's not like they're hiding Anne Frank in their houses and they're trying to hide things from the government. What do straight couples talk about? What do husbands and wives talk about? What do they talk about? Do they talk about, I don't know, honey, would you pick up some tampons for me? People don't live that interesting lives. Most Americans don't live lives full of intrigue. And besides, do you know how many people got vaccinated even though we told them don't do that? The majority of people are stupid. And the average person is very, very dumb. If you don't want to be all up in that matrix, you don't have to be. But there are people right now who are lining up to be tracked and traced. Ooh, give me a social credit score. Because see, I'm a weirdo. Tim, you're a weirdo. We're actors, comedians, creative people. We're kind of exempt from that shit. The weirdos will be exempt from that social credit. The weirdos and the artists and the musicians and all that stuff, we're weird. We're too weird to be tracked and traced because we are looking up things. We are cracking jokes. We are sarcastic. And we make people laugh. And that counts for a whole lot in this world. When you can make people laugh, Tim, that is a gift. You have a voice to lift people up instead of have people worried about things that will never come to pass. How do I know that it's not going to go down that way? I don't know. I may have mentioned I'm a shaman.
Wearables. They want the wearables. That is coming. They are building this with Trump, with taxpayer money.
Are they? Are they? Come on, man.
They know the dollar's going to crash. They know we're headed into a world war. They know AI is going to be very disruptive to jobs over the next 10 years. They're going to have to quell massive civil unrest.
How do you know this? It is Sunday morning, 4 a.m. I realized I didn't record the last part of this episode, so it's going to be, my voice is going to be deeper. I don't have the Palantir tank top anymore. It's small. I might give it away to people who can wear a small tank top. I will wash it but I think we'll just give it away. I mean, giving away Palantir merch. So I'll probably put a post up about how we're going to be giving that small tank top away, because I can't wear it. I can't wear it. Even though I did wear it, I will wash it and do a giveaway for it. Wouldn't that be fun? So anyway, that is if you made it this far in the video. If you made it this far in the video and you want to enter that giveaway, just say, I want to enter the giveaway in the comments. Because I'm not going to promote it. I'm going to just say, do you want to, if you are a size small and you want a holographic Palantir tank top, it's probably only going to fit ladies and really tiny men. I'm a small guy and I can't wear it. It's too small for me. So anyway, I realized if you want to enter it, we'll put your name in a hat and we'll draw it. Okay, so I realized over the weekend that Tim Dillon was invited. This is what he told Joe Rogan. Tim Dillon was invited by Peter Thiel to have dinner with him, and Tim Dillon declined because he said, I want to make fun of him, so I don't want to get to know him. And I think that's a little strange. Like, I'm what kind of comedian are you? What kind of comedian are you? Like you can make fun of people. Like people can be made fun of. I mean, I think Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, Elon Musk, they're really good sports. I mean, obviously a lot of people make fun of them. You wouldn't be out of the, I mean, in recovery, I mean, friends make fun of each other. I mean, what kind of comedian are you, Tim? If Peter Thiel invited me to dinner, I would want to go. I would say, yes, let's go. I want to learn about this stuff. If this is a man who is an architect of our future, as you say, I would want to get to know him. I wouldn't stand for this stuff. I wouldn't stand to just be afraid. I wouldn't stand to be afraid of this stuff at all. So let's go back to this video. Oh, I almost stopped recording again and also did a live stream. So let me put me back over to this side of the screen. Let's go.
I hate to beat a dead horse here. I don't want to. I don't want to keep saying all this, but it's all true. This is what's happening. And I know this. I hear this from smart people, and so do you. It's not like I know.
Whoa. What smart people are we talking about here? Are we talking about the smart, like the smart people like Alex Karp and Peter Thiel? Are those the kind of smart people that we're talking about? We're listening to these smart people? What smart people are you talking about? You talking about this bitch right here? Is that the smart person you're talking about here? Do you know what she sounds like? Listen. Have y'all really listened to her? Come on.
One of the things we have to break free from is the colonization of our minds.
Oh, God. Y'all know who came up with that colonization of our... That's a Marxist revolutionary tactic. Who was it? Robin DiAngelo. What does colonization of our minds even mean? This is Marxist revolutionary tactics, because they want you to think that American culture is wrong. American culture is bad. And anything that is not American culture is bad. So I'm not saying she's a Marxist revolutionary. I'm saying it's a Marxist revolutionary tactic. Anytime somebody says colonization or any of that stuff, you automatically put them in that category of, oh God. I thought it's kind of fun. It's like word salad. What is that? Here, I looked it up for you guys. What does that actually mean? A colonized mind refers to the internalized acceptance of racial or cultural inferiority and the belief that the colonizer's culture and values are superior to one's own, a consequence of prolonged colonial rule and oppression. This mental state often leads to a desire to emulate the colonizer's culture, a loss of one's indigenous and cultural identity. I see that doesn't really happen in America anymore. Used to, when you immigrated to America, you had to somewhat, or you wanted to assimilate. Now, you don't really have to do that anymore. You don't have to speak English anymore. Like these might have been true 100 years ago. Now it's not. Like, America is a culture of other cultures. That's the crazy part about it, that it's so regressive. It's like they've gone into a time machine and they think that this country is something that it's not.
We have been primed to be good, obedient slaves. And so
by who? How have we been primed to be good, obedient slaves? Who has done that? Who primed you?
you free yourselves from those theoretical shackles. Part of it is about taking personal responsibility, not looking for these saviors to tell you what to believe or think they're going to fix everything. And we have become slaves to convenience.
Who's this we? Who is this we? I'm not a slave to convenience. I don't know many people who are a slave to convenience. Shit, bitch, I make my own biscuits from scratch in the morning. I mean, I don't slaughter my own hogs to eat, to have bacon. I mean, don't be I I make my own pizza dough. I make pizza. I make my own pizzas. Now, granted, I kind of got away from homemaking in, this year. But I mean, when I was a stay-at-home dad to my cat many years ago, I would make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for my husband. I loved it. But who's the slave to convenience? Who's this we? Y'all use this word a lot. We. I don't. We are not a slave. I mean, I think that if you're on the internet all the time, and if you yourself are addicted to Hot Pockets and DoorDash and stuff like that, you might be a slave to convenience. Not me, honey. I don't know who you're talking about.
So many people are just willing to do whatever in order to stay comfortable. But this
this is like this, man. I see a lot of people at the gym. I see a lot of people at the library. I don't see people doing this all that much. And plus the thing, like some of this technology that you talk about is very inconvenient. I got a Whoop band. Okay. I had a Fitbit. I quit wearing that shit. It's too complicated. I don't need to know all that stuff about me. Don't you see how this is going to go down? It's just going to be dumb.
This is a mental thing. That's, in my opinion, the main lure that's going to be used to get people into these new systems, particularly the new financial system.
Well, I mean, this new financial, of course, there's going to have to be a new financial system. There's going to be. I don't know if it's going to happen soon or later or whatever, but yeah, there is a new financial system. Some very bright people are working on it. Very smart people are working on it. Smarter than Whitney, smarter than me, smarter than, I mean, like, have you ever talked to a really smart person? It's like talking to an alien. It's like talking to an alien. And I love that there's smart people that, and I'm like, I hope that they are creating a financial system that is good for everybody. I mean, there's a lot that goes into creating a whole fucking new financial system. Don't be so smooth-brained about it.
Yeah. And it's how they market it, right?
Yeah.
CBDC, how convenient. Digital ID, how convenient.
God. Yeah, they do market it as convenient, but who's buying that shit? Y'all think that people are just going to line up for this stuff. I mean, I don't have a real ID. I don't know anybody who has a real ID. You just get a passport. But I mean, y'all think that people are dumb, and they are. But what does that have to do to you? With you, you're a journalist, you're a writer, you're an artist. I'm a shaman. I'm a spiritual person. This isn't for you. This is for the people who are already slaves to the Matrix. This is for them. I don't know why you got your panties in a bunch, honey.
And ultimately, it all comes down to parallel systems from the existing system. Right. They are going to try and lure you into this new system. That is not like the old system at all. It's much more predatory and controlling and dystopian. So go along for that ride, or you start investing in.
Do you see that face he made? This is how I made. This is the same face that my husband and I make when we have to listen to this crazy bitch.
So go along for that ride, or you start investing.
That is the exact same thing. Have you ever been stuck in a car with a crazy bitch, and it's like, I had to call a narcissistic family member the other day, and she was going on and on about stuff, and it's like, I used to get upset by having to listen to stuff like that, but not anymore. Not anymore. Okay. So that's one of the things that she said. So here's another thing because she doesn't provide notes or any evidence of their intentions at all. It's all conjecture, you see. So even if there was a new financial system being built for equality and with, the people who have earned their money, they want to keep their money in the new financial system. Like It is coming, but I don't see that it's bad. I don't see it's because things do have to change because the financial system that we have right now, and I'm going to be very simplistic about this, rewards corruption and fuckery and all of that. So the new financial system will, it'll make it harder to defraud people. It'll make it harder for corruption. That's why there's so much pushback against this new financial system. You could do that. There's a lot of pushback of this new financial system because it'll be more difficult to launder money and things like that.
There's a huge need to divest from big tech as much as possible, and it needs to happen quickly because unless the choice is either participate in the system being designed for you by the crazy people and become a slave, or don't become a slave.
Which crazy people? Who are the crazy people you are talking about? Who are the crazy people? Because I'm going to talk about this book after I do this, but y'all sound like mental patients. When y'all talk about this stuff, y'all sound exactly like mental patients.
Right? So if you don't want to be a slave, you have to invest now in making in big tech alternatives unless you want to live a completely analog life. Right. Yeah. I mean,
I think, does she work for the competition of Palantir? Because all this is just a boner for Palantir. I mean, essentially. So
future of human freedom depends on it. So I think it's a pretty easy choice. And if you have to do some,
the future of human freedom. Okay. Many humans out there have already enslaved themselves. Like it's a done deal. People don't want to be free, Whitney. They don't. They want their minds colonized. Honey, I am a shaman. I work with people helping them get sober. I offer freedom to people daily. They don't want it. They don't want it. They want to be slaves. I'm sorry, that might come as kind of a shock to you, but they don't want to be free. They want to be enslaved. They exist in a prison of mind. Now, the only way to get somebody out of that prison of mind is a spiritual awakening. But the people who are enslaved call people who have gone through a spiritual awakening, or what in my case, I'm a shaman. I'm also a sober shaman. They call us the crazy ones. They call us crazy. We live in a world where enslaved people call the free people crazy. And if you want to look up the analogy of Plato's cave, this will explain it. I know that you feel like you've gotten out of Plato's cave and you're trying to explain reality to people, but you in many ways, Whitney, you don't share complete information. You take things out of context, all to serve your thesis that people want to control others and enslave others. It's kind of like with antidepressants. The people who make them and the people who prescribe them know that they do not work. But the consumer wants the pills, so they're like, well, we'll make it for you. So there are people out there who want to be enslaved, and I know this blows your mind. It's kind of like the people who make alcohol knows that it kills people. It's poison, but the alcoholics want alcohol, so let's make alcohol because somebody's going to do it. I don't want to make alcohol, but somebody's going to do it. People want to be enslaved. That's the thing that you don't understand about all of this. You have a limited life experience. Are you out there interviewing priests? Are you out there interviewing shamans or other people about this? Or are you just saying, I'm right, and the only information I'm going to look at is it's going to serve my thesis for whatever. What do you want me to do about any of this, Whitney? What do you want me to do? Are you trying to get people away from big tech? What does that even mean? Divest yourself from big tech.
Tutorials or whatever, why the internet is still like sort of functioning the way it
And you can tell she doesn't believe her own bullshit because as we know, when you go like this, when you're telling people something like this, they don't believe their own bullshit. So she reveals time and again that she doesn't believe her own bullshit.
Should function to an extent in terms of like democratizing access.
And I'm gonna if I had Whitney with me, I would give her a makeover. I would say a makeover, a physical makeover, a spiritual makeover, and an intellectual makeover. She could be a powerful voice for change in the world, but instead she wants to fearmonger about things that may never come to pass based on conjecture. She claims to have more psychic supernatural abilities than a shaman. All right. I don't have the psychic abilities that Whitney, I don't know where she's gotten them. Is she a witch? Is she a psychic? Like, where does she get this stuff?
Access to information. Like, let's please do that and not be like, oh man, I wish I did that now that they've.
And she laughs about this and she smiles about it. Yeah, we're all going to be digital slaves. We're going to be slaves. And if we don't divest from big tech now, we're just going to be slaves forever. Oh, God, it's crazy, isn't it?
Screwed the whole internet over and I have to get a digital ID if I want to be online anymore.
Yeah.
Like, now is the time.
Okay, so that's all of the fear mongering about AI and Palantir comes from that one woman. And I know this because it's all the similar thing. It's all a similar thing. Let me put on these really cute readers and let me take these off for just a second. Let me tell you about this book, The Technological Republic by Alex Karp. I've suggested this book to people who are afraid of AI, and they said they're not going to read it because it's one man, it's his perspective. It's his perspective of it. And I'm going to tell you, the last 80 pages of this book are notes. This is one of the most well-researched, well-documented books I've ever read, like 80 pages of notes. So it's not just his perspective, it's the perspective of a lot of other people as well. It's a very well researched book. I'm not even to the end of it yet. I'm over halfway through and I'm really taking my time with it because I really want to know this. So at the end of the book, it says, above all, this book owes its existence to Palantir. The company, its founders, our colleagues, partners, organizational culture, and software. The radical suggestion to build technology that served the needs of U.S. defense and intelligence agencies, instead of merely catering to the consumer, began with Peter Thiel, who sensed the diminished ambition of Silicon Valley, and without whom Palantir would not exist. Alex is enormously grateful for his friendship over more than 3 decades and support. The company is also a product and reflection of the creative insight and unwavering commitment of Stephen Cohen, along with the work and dedication of Joe Lonsdale and Nathan Gettings. The construction of something from nothing would never have been possible without the fierce loyalty and leadership of all these other people. It's basically a thank you. But the ideas expressed here are both an outgrowth of and an attempt at articulating our experience at what we believe is an enormously differentiated institution. It has been a wild and rich experiment indeed, and one for which we are both more than grateful to be a part. So, the fear mongering about Palantir, I think, comes from the fact that there is a new world coming. There is a new Earth at hand, and it's very scary. I know that AI, like it's fun or edgy or cool to make fun of AI, but I think that's low hanging fruit now. I mean, I think if you really want to criticize AI, you have to get to know it. If you really want to make fun of it, you're going to have to understand it. It's hard to make fun of things that you don't really understand. And that's why this Tim Dillon clip comes off as not funny at all, because it's not even based in truth or reality at all. It just seems sort of like, oh, I don't understand it, so it's goof troop, essentially. It's goofy and it's goof troop.
Know anything you don't. It's just what it is. Everybody knows this. Everyone feels it.
No, that's not true. Y'all use everybody, we, all this, like, watch out for those things. Like, I used to use those words like everybody, nobody, we. These days, I'm ever more careful to say my opinion is, my belief is, this is the way I see it. I'm not, that's collectivism. That also is a Marxist revolutionary tactic as well.
We don't only know it, we feel it in our bones. We have to renegotiate our relationship with these people.
I agree with that as well. Renegotiating, because there needs to be a value to human life. There needs to be a value. Everybody is valuable. Everybody's voice and perspective is valid. It is. Please share your opinion, share your beliefs, do all of that. But when we reject things outright, when we fearmonger about stuff, we seek to understand, not be understood. If Tim and Whitney were really interested in understanding what this technology is, all of their fears would be absolved, like mine. Do you think that I was like, ooh, this is scary. Ooh, this is scary. I don't want to be a slave. I don't want to be a slave. But then it started to sound cockamamie to me. It sounded crazy to me. And also, I remember having conversations like this when I was in the mental institution with other patients. Mental patients are very conspiracy theory minded. And now that I'm 7 years sober and I help people who sometimes are mental patients, I do have to calm them down and say things are not that bad.
I'm very interested in politicians who want to renegotiate our relationship with these people. Our Bill of Rights in this new digital age. I'm very interested in politicians who want to talk about that. Left, right, or center, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's AOC or Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care who it is. If you're interested in renegotiating American people's ability to opt out of certain things or to be protected digitally.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There might come a day that I don't want to carry a mobile phone anymore. I don't feel like I should have to use an app for something. I think there should be an offline way to do everything. I do. Online should be an option. If you're one of those people who want convenience, sometimes I just like to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. So there should be, but there should also be a return and respect of people's privacy. This might be one of those things like you don't know what you've got until it's gone. People who gave up their privacy are realizing, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I feel like I got suckered into giving up personal information that I didn't really want to give. I mean, if you ever wanted to order like your birth certificate or a death certificate online, and you want this, sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I need my birth certificate. All of a sudden, you think you're at the state's website, but you're not. You're on some other website, and you don't realize it. You just gave away all your personal information, and you're like, oh, this isn't the state's website. So yeah, we do. I am very interested in that, in restoring Americans' privacy. And maybe if it's beneficial to people, look at the blackmail operation. Okay. Use that as an example. What if that blackmail operation that Whitney reported on, that everybody knows has been going on for decades? She didn't really tell us anything new. Thank you, Whitney Webb, for telling us what we already knew. We may not have known how bad it was, but you can kind of sense the way that politicians are, that people must have dirt on these people the way they vote. So, but anyway, blackmail. Like, no, we have to be kinder to each other. We have to care more about the individual. That people matter. Let's bring back the fact that people matter. And it begins by not calling people evil, by not calling people names, by not projecting onto them. And if you think that I'm sticking up for Peter and Alex and Sam Altman, and yeah, like I see so many comments calling these men names. I see people who stick up for what's right being called names. Like, I get called crazy and insane by people who don't know what they're talking about. Like, I say in every episode, I'm a shaman. This is my perspective. And they say, well, that your perspective doesn't matter, Patrick. Like, your perspective doesn't matter. But, you know, does Tim's and Whitney's perspective matter? They matter a whole hell of a lot. A whole hell of a lot. Because it shows just how far bad ideas can spread if they're on the wings of fear. If they're on the wings of fear, you can get the wrong idea about all of this. And it'll come down to, no, I don't want to wear a tracking device. No, I don't want to wear an aura ring. I don't want to wear any of that stuff. For me, all that digital stuff is not very convenient at all. Especially that Whoop band. That Whoop band was complicated and crazy. And it's like, I'll just measure my heart rate. Okay? I'll just measure my heart rate.
Now, of course, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult, but that's what interests me. Those are the issues that interest me. They're going to make gay marriage and abortion look like a joke pretty soon, or whatever other cultural issues that people want to fight about.
Gay marriage and abortion look like a joke pretty soon. Well, here's the thing. I would encourage people to reconsider having abortions because I'm an adopted person. When I met my birth mother, she told me that if she had been able to easily get an abortion, she would have. She wouldn't have had me at all. And I would not be here today if abortion was easily accessed by my birth mother in the 70s. I wouldn't be here. So naturally, as an adopted person, I would encourage people to have their babies and put them up for adoption. It can be the best gift that you can give to another couple. I would encourage people. I don't think that abortion should be all that easy to access because guess what? I loved being born. I feel like I'm a voice for the unborn here. Like, I loved being born. I'm also in a gay marriage. I don't think gay marriage is going to go away because there's too many. Who cares? Gay people are so rare. Gay people are so rare that we literally have no effect on society whatsoever. We're so rare. The only effect that gay men have ever had on society is through entertainment. That's why Hollywood movies suck so bad right now, Tim, because all the really talented gay guys died of AIDS in the 80s and the 90s. So I don't think gay marriage is, because who cares? Nobody cares really at all. I mean, I live in MAGA country, and I'm out at stores with people, with housewives, and they talk about their husbands. I talk about my husbands. Nobody has a come apart, and we just move on. People have accepted that gay people can get married. I don't know what you're talking about here.
You know, bathrooms or whatever it is. This is coming. It's coming very quickly. That's what interests me. The politician who steps up and goes, I understand the genie's out of the bottle and we can't put AI back in its box, but why are we not thinking about ways to regulate AI? Why are we not thinking about privacy?
Because if AI, here's the thing about AI regulation. If AI is regulated, you don't want regulations on this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the minute that it gets regulated, Marxist and communist ideologies can be inserted into it. You don't want regulation of AI is because you want it to be free. You want free and open AI. You want it to have access to information and be able to talk about things in a way that Marxism doesn't want you talking about, and that communists don't want you talking about. The reason that they don't want regulation on AI is for that reason and that reason alone. Plus, over-regulation stifles growth and innovation. The problem that we have here in America right now is that there's too many fucking regulations. To run a business, you have to do all these stupid things. Tim, you should know this. You run your own business. I mean, it seems like every year they keep coming up with new things and new reports that we have to do and new hoops that we have to jump through just to stay in business. I mean, to have a website, you got to have this and that. Like, I don't make any money on our business. It's service work for me, because by the time we pay for websites and subscriptions and taxes and all that kind of stuff, I don't make any money on it. And if there weren't all of these regulations, it would be a lot easier. I don't know if our business will ever be profitable. Maybe if I ever got my head out of my ass and marketed, but I just do it for fun and for service. Really. But there's too many regulations, and conservatives are all about removing regulations so that there can be growth and anybody can become a millionaire in America, but in a communist country or a Marxist socialist country, that doesn't happen. Only the people at the top get to be millionaires or billionaires. But in America, anybody can become that. And that is true, and it has been true for the entirety of America's history. Now, you want to say that it's a big club and and you're not in it. Well, the way that y'all treat people, I mean, if I were a billionaire, I'd be scared of y'all too. I'd be like, these people don't listen to reason. These people are out of their minds. And en masse, ideas like this can spread like wildfire. I'm trying to see things from other people's point of view. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to see things from other people's point of view.
Why are we not thinking about a human being's God-given right to live unmolested by extreme surveillance technology?
Because I think that people are thinking about that. I think there are people who don't want to live in a police state, and they're doing stuff about it. And there's a part in this book where they talk about how much, somebody's going to create a mass surveillance police state. And the reason that you want Americans behind AI, the reason you want Americans to innovate in AI is because America has free speech. We have a constitution, a Bill of Rights. The leader in AI should also be the most free nation in the world. However, if Palantir becomes the leader, and in this, it's death to communism, essentially. I mean, it would be death to that kind of stuff. It would be with U.S. defense and the best software being American made and American owned and American operated. It's bad for communism. It's bad for dictatorships. And let me tell you this too. Palantir does not share their software or allow China or Russia to use their software. So it's very American. It's very patriotic. I don't know why you can't see this. I don't know why you can't access this information if I was able to access it. Is it willful? Do you want to fearmonger about this? This is the, Tim, you are so smart. You are such a smart guy. This is the equivalent of a boomerology. That's what this is. You could And I know it's fashionable to bash AI. It's low hanging fruit. It's cheap. It's cheap jokes. Cheap jokes. Cheap jokes. Gets a lot of views, right? If you really cared about this, Tim, if you really cared about this, you can be funny about this stuff without fear mongering about it. You can. So these are just counterpoints. That's all they are.
Nobody has any interest in that. In fact, Peter Thiel's going, you're Satan if you try to stop my product.
He didn't say that. I know you're telling jokes, but I read the comments of this video. Like, let's just take a look at some of these comments of this video. I left a comment. Palantir Derangement Syndrome is real. Lay off the Whitney Webb. Come back to reality. Got no likes. Ignored virtually. I'm bored. I'm already bored. But I read those comments, and it's the midwittery and the fear is real. The midwittery and the fear is real. I mean, people really do think that they're building a police state. Maybe they want to live in a police state. I don't know. Let's finish this up.
If you try to limit artificial intelligence, you try to regulate it in any way, you're Satan.
If you try to limit it or regulate, here, I'm going to be clear about this. If you try to limit it or regulate it in any way, the enemies of America will get the upper hand. They will. It's outlined clearly, and anybody with a brain can sort that out. Anybody with a brain could understand that. Anybody with a brain could see that some country is going to be the world's leader in AI. Do you want it to be America, or do you want it to be China, or do you want it to be Russia? Which country do you want to be the leader in AI? Because it's coming, bitch. What do you want it to be? All right, that's all I have for you today. This video was way too long. I want you to have a lovely day. I love you all. If you want to know how bad the ego is, get our book. Get it, read it, wake the fuck up. Thank you so much. I love you all. I am getting out of your hair. Bye-bye.
Reality is real. It doesn't bend. It keeps on being without an end. Don't lose your mind when the stories grow. Most of it's noise you don't need to know. Stay with what's real, don't fall for the show. Take a deep breath, let the rest go. Doubt what you hear, but learn to feel. The truth is simple, the truth is real. Do you even know how to feel? What's real? Come dressed up as fact, whispering tales to pull you back. But if you're quiet and if you wait, the real thing speaks, it doesn't shout. Hey, stay with what's real, don't fall for the show. Take a deep breath, let the rest go. Doubt what you hear, but learn to feel. The truth is simple, the truth is real. Do you even want to heal? What's real? What's real? What's real? What's fake? The soul or a life to take. The heart is shallow or it can be deep. Lies that sound true might be easier to take. What's true is easy, it unites, not divides. And if you're ready, the truth will arise. That wanna be alive, just clap and hum to the beat and the rhythm of a shaman's drum. Are you ready for it to arrive? need to panic, no need to fight. The real is steady, the real is light. Open your ears, open your eyes. The real won't trick you, it never lies. Stay with what's real, don't fall for the show. Take a deep breath, let the rest go. Doubt what you hear, but learn to feel. The truth is simple, the truth is real. Do you even know the deal? Do you even know the deal? What's real? What's real? Are you ready for the real? Are you ready to feel? The truth unfolds like a flower, and then you stand in the infinite power of what's real. What's real?